security is a myth. It's all in your head. Many of the things that have security in it aren't really that secure as you might think. In today's video, I want to give you guys some unconventional wisdom, some different ways of viewing things, thinking outside of the box, giving you guys a reality check because I'm living in the city, but I'm from a country small town. And the way that people act in the city, they just take so many things for granted. And they're amongst a big population of strangers. It's the weirdest thing. So I want to snap you guys back into reality with this video and tell you what's really going on in the real world, so you guys aren't shocked, so you guys can know what to do when these situations arise. So, like always, before we get too far into it, don't forget to like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel if you like my content. So, let's talk about power security. Things like local police, Secret Service, bodyguards. A lot of these security mechanisms are just for show. They're meant just because they show strength. That is supposed to stop most people from challenging them, and it does. It does. When you have a bodyguard at 6'5", I mean, that stops most people from messing with you. When you have all 6'4" dudes that are in Secret Service that are strong and husky, that prevents people from coming up on you. When you have police that have weapons on their waist, that stops people in threat of jail. That stops people from trying certain stuff. But it's all an illusion. It's all a facade. It's all just for the appearance, because every guy that's a bodyguard, every guy that's a police officer, every guy that's a Secret Service guy, they're not all good at protecting. And the unfortunate thing is, you're not going to find out that until you actually get tested. I.e., look at the Donald Trump assassination attempt. Now, granted, that was a tremendous amount of negligence. A lot of DEI hires, could possibly be an inside job. But somebody tried their security, and it almost cost the president's life, the former president's life. Look at the bodyguards with Rick Ross. His bodyguards was big dudes. It didn't matter. When they got put to the test, they got dumped. Police. A lot of these guys, when they get put to the test in certain situations, and a lot of it stems from lack of training, they don't come through as you thought they were. Because it's all for appearance. It's like a guy that drives a BMW, but he's only driving a BMW because he gets food stamps and all this EBT and all this stuff from the government assistance. He's not really rich as he pretends he is when he rides around with his BMW. When you see his BMW, you think he's rich until you get down into the nitty gritty and find out he's just faking it. Now, I'm not saying there's not good police that know what they're doing, not good bodyguards or Secret Service that know what they're doing. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying it's not as much as you think it is. They're not as good as you think you would like them to be. And I mean, they're human, right? Human error, human negligence. See, the thing about these securities is most times there are reactionary force, a responsive force, meaning what? They come in after the stuff has already happened. Especially cops. You know, by the time you dial 911, the guy done robbed you already. He didn't put the whatever he wants to do with you. The criminal already wants to do with you. He already done did it by the time he called the cops. So he's gone. It's a reactionary force. They're not stopping it before it happens. Bodyguards and security supposed to, but if you come up against some really trained dudes, you're gonna find out really fast that your security is just bodies. And plus, this is what you have to understand too, guys. These are strangers defending you. So since they're strangers, their level of care isn't going to be the same as if it was their dad or their granddad or their mother. Which is why if you look at the Uvalde shooting, the reason why some of those cops didn't go down and help them kids is because he has a wife and 2 3-year-olds at home. A 3-year-old and a 6-year-old at home. And he's like, do I really want to go into this building to save these kids when I have a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old that's depending on me to make it home tonight? I mean, self-preservation comes into the equation. So once you guys depend on these people and they don't come through, you start blaming the system. It's like, no, you're supposed to handle it with you. You're supposed to be trained, know how to do it. You're supposed to be in a community full of strong men, capable men, and that's the problem. We don't have those kind of men anymore that take charge in their communities and defend it. Don't depend solely on the cops. Depend solely on stranger bodyguards and Secret Service and all that. Like there were Secret Service that are literally saying they won't stand in front of a bullet for Trump. How are you safe with people around that? So these are a reactionary force. They're responsive. They're not prohibiting anything from happening. Now the threat of jail might stop a person from doing something. Anyway, we've spent enough time on that point. Job security. Your job isn't secure, guys. There's no such thing as job stability. Every industry goes through its boom and bust cycles. 3 years ago, people were talking about getting the trucking. In the early 2010s, people were talking about get your tech. Get in the tech. Now they're laying off left and right now. So you need to always revisit, you really need to revisit every month, every day, honestly. You need to be paying attention to or watching for the signs, right? Because if you don't, you're going to pop up one day and it's going to be a layoff and it's going to be your fault because you didn't see it coming when the signs were clear. So the job security, it isn't, especially in today's time, guys, you're not going to work 30 years for a company and get a pension and set off into the sunset at 63 years old. That's not your Social Security might not even be there. Your 401k might not even be enough because everything is going up. So job stability is a myth. You'd always be paying attention and either trying to level up or at least get ahead of the layoff before they come. The next thing, and this is a huge myth. When people say online security, there's no such thing as online security. Like at this point, guys, I'm reading a book right now called Means of Control. There's no such thing as security online. You can get found easily. They could find your IP address. You put your location on your GPS, like There's sensors in the TVs and speakers and wireless devices. Like, guys, they can find you. Cybersecurity is a myth. Like, that's a complete myth. And we're finding out with that recent hacking that shut down businesses, it's not hard to hack into the United States system. So here's the conclusion, guys. The only true awareness is to be aware that you don't know something. That's really what it boils down to, because anybody can be gotten. I mean, just imagine, right? There could be somebody watching you right now, but you don't know that. How would you know that? They're not in their car all the time, following you home or stalking you on the internet and making it obvious. If somebody just has your name, they can pretty much find out what they need to find out about you. Why do you think private investigators catch so much? Because that other person will know they're being watched. So guys, hopefully you guys learned something from this video. Hopefully you guys are more in tune to what's really going on. And the reason why I wanted to bring this video to you guys, so you guys can take more control of your lives. Not be so dependent on the outside world to save you. You have to truly save yourself. Now, granted, it's good to have cops, it's good to have bodyguards, it's good to have a job, but you know, they're human just like you, subject to failure. It'd be a little bit better if you recognize the truth for what it was and planned accordingly and had stuff in place just in case they did fail, or you got people that are bodyguards that actually care about you. You vetted and found the right bodyguards. You made sure that your security is trained and know what they're doing. So that's my video. Hopefully you guys learned something. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.